Hello everyone and welcome to this video recorded discussion. Our topic for this video recorded discussion is all about mathematics of finance. So from the word finance, we will be talking about money. So this will be the outline for our discussion. First is the simple interest, followed by the maturity value, then the ordinary interest and the exact interest. So, these are the following terms we will be used in the discussion. First is the principal. This is represented by big letter P. This is the amount received by the debtor. Second, time or term. This is represented by small letter T. This is the number of units of time for which the interest is computed. Number 3, rate of interest or the small letter R. This is the fractional part of the principal that is paid on the loan. Number 4 is the final amount or maturity value. This is the big letter F. This is the sum of the principal and the interest which is accumulated at a certain time. Number 5, the lender. This is the person who loans the money. And the debtor, this is the person who borrows for any purpose. Okay, first, interest and simple interest. When you say interest, this is the payment made by a person or entity for the use of borrowed money. Money can be from a loan or investment. And when you say simple interest, this is when only the principal bears the interest for the entire term. So this is the formula in getting the interest. So either is the interest, P is the principal, the R, the small letter R is the rate, and the T is the time or the term. So let's have an example. So before we go to our example, if you have a money or let's say na kay capital nga 100,000, the simple interest is calculated annually. When you say annually, this is computed yearly. So kung i-invest ni imong kwarta nga 100,000 at 5% interest rate for 1 year, so ang imong kwarta is motubo og 5%. Pilay para 5% sa 100,000. So that's 5,000. So let's have an example to understand thoroughly the simple interest. So let's have an example. Okay, find the interest of a 25,300 investment at 6% interest rate for 1 year. So what are the given in the question? So you have there the 25,000. This is your P or your principal. Then another here, 6%. This is your R or the interest rate. And 1 year, this is the time or the term. So what are the given? So T is 1 year, P or the principal is 25,300 and the rate is 6%. So the question is that find the interest. So pila daw ang interest sa iyahang 25,300 nga investment at 6% interest rate for 1 year. So na siya kwarta nga 25,300 yang gi-invest at 6% interest rate for 1 year. So the question is that find the interest. So solution. Okay, solution. So what's the formula in getting the simple interest? So I is equal to P R T. So using the given T, the P, and the R, so substitute the given in the formula in order to get the I or the simple interest. So substitute the given. Here P is 25,300. Your R is 6%. But you need to convert first or you need to express first the 6% into decimal form. So how will you express the 6% into decimal form? So 6%, so you just divide that into 100. So that's 0.06. So this is 0.06. So substitute here the 0.06. So you should always convert, or you express the rate which is in percent into decimal form. So how will you express that into decimal form? You divide that by 100. Okay? So next is the time, or the T. The T is 1 year. And the time here should be always in year. So dapat in year siya. So let's say ang naa sa question is, or nasa given is in months or in days. So you need to convert that into year. Let's say 6 months. So what is 6 months in year? So that's 0.5 years. So we will have an example for that later. So pila man ni 25,300 times 0.06 times 1, that's 1,500, sorry, dili mo lagi, 518 pesos. So, ang iyang kwarta nga 25,300, iyang gi-invest at 6% interest rate for 1 year, nitubo siya og, or ang iyang interest is 1,518 pesos. So, let's have, so this is, so sample number 2. Find the interest of a 25,300 investment at 6% interest rate for 6 months. So this is just the same with the example number 1. The same principal and the same interest rate. The only difference is that the 1 year, or the time, or the T. In example number 2, the time is 6 months. So we need to express this into year. Dapat ma-express na ito into year. Nga naman, because the simple interest is calculated annually or yearly. So dapat i-express na ito siya into year. So what are the given in the question? So the 25,300 there is the principal. The 6% is the rate, and the 6 months is the time. So given, time is 6 months, principal is 25,300. The rate, this is small letter r, this is small letter r. 6%, and the missing there is the interest. So muna itong gipangita, find the interest. But we need to express the rate into decimal form. And also the time. We need to express the time into year. So how will you express the time in months into year? So 6 months, how many months in 1 year? So there are 12 months in dili na yun pag-convert. Ano yun pag-convert ka sa 6, hindi mo 6 months times how many months in 1 year? So 12 months in 1 year. So cancel ang month. So this is just 6/2. So that's 6/12. So that's 0.5 year. So solution. So the formula in getting the interest is I is equal to P. Hindi man mo P Sorry, PRT. So substitute the given, the P is 25,300. Your R is 0.06 and the time is 0.5. So that's pila. So as you can observe sa atong example number 1, that is the same silang principal, the same silang interest rate, and invest ang 25,300 is in 1 year. So example number 2, 6 months lang siya gi-invest. So dapat half ani ang atoang answer. Kaya in 1 year man ni, this is in 6 months. So 0.5 lang ang atoang time here. So what's the answer? So the interest is 759 pesos. So let's have another example. Find the interest of a 65,850 investment at 6.72% interest rate for 2 3/4 years. So 2 3/4 years siya gi-invest. So the principal is this. This is the principal. Then this is the R or the interest rate, and this is the time. So the given R, time, is 2 3/4 years. Principal is 65,850 and the rate is 6.72%, and the missing part there is the interest, or find the interest. So first, you need to express the rate into decimal form. So how will you express it into decimal form? So 6.72 divided by 100. So that's 0.0672. And also the time, you need to express your time into decimal form para masayon siya i-calculate sa inyong calculator during the exam. Okay, this is 2.75. Sige, sa pagka 2.75. So 3/4 is 3 divided by 4, that's 0.75. Plus 2, so that's 2.75. So solution. So I is equal to PRT. So substitute the given in the formula. The P there is 65,850. Your rate is 0.0672 and the time is 2.75 years. So what's the answer? So the answer is 12,169.08 pesos. So in a 65,850 investment at 6.72% interest rate for 2 3/4 years. So nitubo ang iyang kwarta og 12,169.08 pesos. Let's have another example. The interest earned on an 8,000 deposit is 1,250 pesos. How long was the term if the interest is 5% simple interest? So what are the given in the question? So the given are 8,000, this is the principal. The 1,250, this is the interest. And your 5% is the rate. So in this question, the interest earned on an 8,000 deposit, so naay kwarta nga 8,000. So ang 8,000 nga deposit ning earn og interest nga 1,250. The question is that, how long was that term? How long was that term if the interest is 5% simple interest? Nakuha? So, ang kwarta niya is 8,000. Ang ihang kwarta nga 8,000 ni tubo og 1,250 at 5% simple interest. The question is that, unsa kataas o how long was the term nag-i-invest iyahang kwarta nga nitubo og 1,250. So what are the given? So your principal is 8,000, the interest is 1,250, and the interest rate is 5%. And the question is how long was the term? So this is the missing part. So solution. So using the formula in getting the simple interest, I is equal to PRT. So your I there is already given, your P there is already given, and also your R is already given. The missing part is the T. So mo ni ang gipangita how long was the term. So the question, how will you solve it? Kaganiya man God is sayon ra, I ra ang gipangita, find the simple interest. But now, the question is that, how long was the term? Or ang gipangutana is the time or the term. So, saan nato ni paggamit ang formula? Okay. So, you manipulate the formula. So, we need to manipulate the formula that ang mahabilin here in the right side is only t. And all the other variables is on the left side of the equal sign. So, sama na nato. So, divide both side. So, para t ang mahabilin diri sa right side, so divide both side by PR. So, ato ni siyang i-divide by PR para makancel na, mag-divide po ta diri PR. Para ang mahabilin here in the right side is only t. So, now you have t is equal to I over PR, or T is equal to I over PR. So now this is the formula in getting the term or the time. So now substitute the given on the formula. So T is equal to I over PR. Your I is 1,250. Your principal is 8,000 times the interest rate is 0.05. So 5% is 0.05. So this is pila. So using the formula I, so manipulate the formula. So then I, so this is the formula in getting the time. So substitute the given. So here, your P, substitute it here. Your I, and also your R. So that's T is equal to 1,250 is equal to 8,000 over 8,000 times 0.05. So that's 3.125 years. So, ang iyang kwarta nga 8,000 deposit nga nitubo og 1,250 at 5% interest rate is iya di ay tong invest in 3.125 years. Okay, next is maturity value. Maturity value is the sum of the interest accumulated over the period of time and the principal. So, this is the formula in getting the maturity value. F is equal to the P. This is the principal. This is the principal. And I is the interest. So, and this is the maturity value or the final value. So, parehas akong example ganiha na kay 100,000 inong gi-invest sa bangko, then ang bangko is yan tubuan o 5% interest rate annually. So, after 1 year, ang imong kwarta nga 100,000 mo tubo og 5,000. So, mahimo siyang 105,000. So, kanang 105,000 mo na ang imuhang maturity value or the final value. So, that's the principal which is 100,000 plus 5,000 nga interest. Nakuha? So, akong isulat ha. So, na kay principal nga 100,000. 100,000. At, invest nimo siya sa bangko at rate nga 5%. So, this is 0.05. Gi-invest nimo siya for 1 year. So, I is equal to PRT. So, your P is 100,000 times 0.05. This is the interest rate and time is 1. So, your I is 5,000. So, after 1 year, ang imong kwarta mahimong 100,000. This is the principal. Plus, so this is the formula. Plus, interest nga 5,000. So, after 1 year, ang imong 100,000 mahimong 105,000. So, that's the maturity value. So, example. Sa atong example kaganyan, number 1. Find the interest of a 25,300 investment at 6% interest rate for 1 year. So, this is an example kaganiha. So, ang iyang 25,300 investment at 6% interest rate for 1 year nitubo og 1,518. So, after 1 year, ang iyang 25,300 mahimong 26,818. So, this is the maturity value or the final value. Okay, let's proceed to ordinary interest and exact interest. So, in ordinary interest, so this is a type of interest wherein the interest is computed based on the assumption that the year contains 360 days and each month has 30 days. So, nganong 360 days? So, in 1 year, so there are 12 months. So, and each month has 30 days. So, kung each month has 30 days, so, naa siya 12 times 30 days. So, that's 360 days. So, this is the formula in getting the ordinary interest. So, I sub O is equal to PR times the number of days over 360. So, this expression here, kaning sulod sa parenthesis, this is just the time. So, mura dyan na siya, I equals to PRT. So, para specific siya, formula for ordinary interest. So, we denote the ordinary interest as I sub O is equal to PR times the number of days over 360. So, now let's proceed to exact interest. So, exact interest, this is a type of interest wherein the interest is computed based on the assumption that the year contains 365 days and it considers the 28, 29, 30, 31 days in each month. So, examples, kung sa January na ay 31 days, sa February na ay 28 days, so pagka March, pagka ana, so i-consider nato ang 28, 29, 30, and 31 days in each month. So, ang isa ka tuig sa exact interest is, gi-assume siya nga 365 days. So this is the formula in getting the exact interest. So I sub E is equal to PR times the number of days over 365. So this is just the time. So moral gyapon siya I is equal to PRT. But to make it specific formula for the exact interest, so we denote exact interest as I sub E. So I sub E, or the exact interest, is equal to PR. Your P there is the principal. The small r is the interest rate. Okay, let's have an example. Find the exact interest of a 29,300 investment at 6% interest rate for 125 days. So, ang kwarta nga 29,300, yang gi-invest at 6% interest rate. So, this is the principal. This is the principal and this is the R, or the rate. And for 125 days, this is the time, or the number of days. So what are the given? Your P there, or the principal, is 29,300. The rate is 6%. So you need to express the rate into, so dapat always i-express ang rate into decimal form. So, pila man in decimal form? This is 0.06. Then, the number of days is 125. So, solution. Yung sa ito formula in getting the exact interest. Okay, solution. Okay, nadiri. So, solution using the formula of the exact interest, I sub E, is equal to PR times the number of days over 365. So, substitute the given, your P here, your R. So, dapat imong R into decimal form, dapat ha. Then, the number of days here. So, now that's I sub B is equal to 29,300. This is your P. Then 0.06, this is your I. And 125 days, this is the number of days over 365. So that's 602.05 pesos. So that's the exact interest of the 29,300 investment at 6% interest rate for 125 days. So let's have another example. Find the ordinary interest of an 18,300 loan at 7% interest rate for 225 days. So what's the principal there? The principal is 18,300. Your 7% is the rate, or the interest rate, and 225 is the number of days. So given your P is 18,300, your rate is 7%, so that's 0.07. The number of days is 225 days. So question, what if I express this into, let's say, 7 months and 15 days. So, kung ang akong gihatag nga given is 7 months and 15 days, so dapat i-express nato ni siya into days. So, pila man sa 7 months and 15 days. So, in ordinary interest, we assume that each month has 30 days. So, 7, hindi man ang sulat. 7 times 30, that's 210. Plus 15, kini plus 15, that's 225 days. So, bisan unsa ang given, you have to convert, or you have to express that time or the number of days into days. So, dapat in days siya, dili in months or in year. Okay? Okay, solution. Using the formula I sub O, this is the formula in getting the ordinary interest. I sub O is equal to PR times the number of days over 360. So substitute the given in the formula of ordinary interest. Then you'll have this. This is your P, this is your R, and this is the number of days. So that's 800.625 pesos. So ang iyang kwarta nga 18,300 loan at 7% interest rate for 225 days ni tubo og 8,800.625 pesos. So ang iyang giloan nga 18,300 na ay interest nga 800.625 pesos. So after 225 days, so iyang bayron nun is 18,300 plus ang interest. Okay? So example number 3. Okay, example number 3. Kini kay kuan siya. Okay, tara. So this is tricky. So find the exact and ordinary interest. So duha atong pangitaon. Find the exact and ordinary interest of 10,500 investment at 9.5% interest made on March 4, 2015 and is due on April 1, 2016. So naay kwarta nga 10,500. Iyang gi-invest at, so this is the principal. This is the principal. And this is the rate. So, ang naay kwarta nga 10,500. So, this is the principal. Yang gi-invest at 9.5 interest. Made on, so gi-invest niya iyang kwarta pagka March 4, 2015. And is due on April 1, 2016. So, question, find the exact interest and ordinary interest. So, di ba sa ordinary interest, gi-assume na to nga 360 days ra ang isa ka tuig. And in exact interest, atong gi-assume nga 365 days ra sa isa ka tuig. So, our problem here is atong pangitaon. Kini from March 4, 2015 to April 1, 2016. Atong pangitaon kung pila din ni siya ka days. Pila ang time. Or the number of days. Okay. So, given, your P there is the 10,500. Your interest rate is 9.5%. So, express this into decimal form. This is 0.095. Then, the time is from March 4, 2015 to April 1, 2016. So, in ordinary interest, we assume that 1 year is 360 days. So, this is the number. This is the calculation in the number of days. So, from March 4 to March 4, so, diba, March 4 to April 1, March 4, 2015 to April 1, 2016 man gi-invest ang kwarta. So, from March 4, 2015 to March 4, 2016, that's 1 year. So, pila man ka days sa ordinary interest ang isa ka tuig in 1 year. So, gi-assume na itong nga each month has 30 days. So, in 1 year, that's 360 days. So, taman pa na March 4. So, dapat mag-count ng punta taman April 1. So, for the month of March, there are 26 days. Nga naman. Nakuha naman rig 4. March 4 man. So, ang remaining sa isa ka bulan is 26 na lang. So, kina na may March 4, taman man ta March 4, nag-count diri ani 360. So, pagka March 5, taman March 30, so that's 26 days. Then, in the month of April, 1 day lang, April 1 man taman. So, i-total na to, the number of days is 387 days. So, now let's proceed to exact interest. So, atong pangitaon ang number of days sa exact interest. From March 4, 2015 to March 4, 2016, so that's 1 year. So, pila man ka days in 1 year sa exact interest. So, there are 365 days. So, taman pa na March 4, 2016. In the month of March, pagka 2016, so 27 days na lang, ano man. 31 days man is supposedly. Pero, nag-count naman ta diri taman March 4, kini 365. So, magsugod na po tag-count, March 5, March 6, taman 31. So, pila man na, that's 27 days. Then, for the month of April, so taman man April 1 ang investment, so 1 day lang. So, i-total na to ang number of days is 393 days. So, parehara silang principal, parehara silang interest rate, but lahi sila og number of days. So, let's solve. So, this is the formula in getting the ordinary interest, and this is the formula in getting the exact interest. So, substitute the given for the principal, and also for the rate, and also for the number of days, kini siya, and also the number of days, kini siya. So, isolve na to. So, substituting the given, P, which is 10,500, and the interest rate, which is 0.05, and also here. Then, that number of days, so over 360 sa ordinary interest, and over 365 sa exact interest. So, the answer is, in the ordinary interest, so that's 1,072.31 pesos, and then in exact interest, 1,074.2 pesos. So, lahi. Kaya nga naman, lahi man siya number of days. So, I have here mga kanang questions na pwede ninyo i-practice. So, you solve all of these para inyo ma-practice. So, that's the end of our discussion for this video. So, I hope you learned a lot with my discussion. And see you next week on our long quiz. So, good luck, everyone. Bye-bye.